I want to share my story. When I was young, I lived in the projects. I started to really change when I got a little older. Between 11 and 12, my grandparents who raised me, they passed away. But anyway, when they passed away, it really hurt. And I started to really think about where I was gonna be. I felt a little different because I didn't want to be in the projects. I seen there was so many fights and there was gangs and drugs, and a lot of my friends were experimenting in drugs, and I just wasn't into that. So, I used to just go down there and sneak into my local rec and sneak into the YMCA and play basketball and stay out of trouble by doing that. Multiple times I got caught and I got kicked out. So this time the director there pulled me over to the side, said, "Come over." And he said, "I've been seeing you. You're always here. You're always playing basketball. So instead of me kicking you out, you're gonna come. You're gonna come each and every day. You're gonna actually help out in the weight room, and you're gonna pick up, the weights and re-rack them, and you're gonna sweep and mop, and you're gonna go to the locker room." And it was teaching me some valuable lessons, and what molded me into the person I am is the fact that he gave me an opportunity to coach kids. And I was a teen at the time. I think I was just 13. So I changed my whole mindset with that. So by coaching and being a role model, and I started to learn how to be a role model. That was the day that I changed. Volunteering, coaching, running leagues. I had an opportunity to get a job at the YMCA. And I did that for many years. I worked for the Y for a long time. And I grew up the ranks, and I took a position, which was awesome. It gave me an opportunity to really be creative. And I took position at the Y in Perth Amboy, which I still love. After fighting and fighting and fighting with my supervisors to get me the opportunity to open up the building on a Saturday night, I championed, for the building to be open and discussed with the city of Perth Amboy, the rec, and getting the police department involved and getting so many volunteers. And we were able to get the teen center up and have our kids, our teens in on Saturday nights come and have a hangout, right? Have music, have a place of their own, and play basketball, do volleyball, go work out, go swimming, have music, have karaoke. We started with only 64 teens our first day without advertising. There was no flyers, no Facebook at the time, none of that, right? By the second week, we had 200. By the third week, 400. We had 450 teens every Saturday night with no fights, with no confrontation. It was awesome. Until one time I was told, we can't fund it. You gotta shut it down because there's no funding for it. And I fought them. And they said, nope, we can't afford it. I remember sitting down and a good friend of mine goes, you can do this yourself, right? You can do this yourself. And I'm going, yeah, I can't. He goes, yeah, you can. You have it all. You can do it. Start it. And I go home to my wife and I said, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to start my own nonprofit. So at the time, I took another position at a different place. And I just quit. I did cold turkey and I started Community Lifestyle. I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I'm going to focus on the teens. And the teens are going to be the mentors, and they're going to be the role models, and they're going to teach the kids. And those kids are going to grow up, and now they're going to be the role models. And that's the philosophy, and that's the vision. That's the goal. And we started to really do programs. And I'm going, I can do this. This is real. This is real. Keep in mind, I still didn't have a job, right? So I end up running a camp. I met this, through my entrepreneur program. I had this young girl in the program, and her mom was always around and always supportive. She's always been there, and she always helped out. So she was my counselor. It was only me and her. And we had 54 kids in our camp. And she's like, I don't know what to do with all these kids. I'm like, we're gonna go swimming, and we're gonna go on trips, and we did it. We managed it. But that summer, Community lifestyle stood for community lifestyle. Everyone that was part of that camp, all the parents that came and donated snacks. The kids needed snacks, they went and purchased snacks. The kids, we wanted to go swimming. Kids had to get bathing suits. They got bathing suits. So how did that get paid? Right? People asking, how do you support yourself? Well, I was ashamed. I didn't want to tell them. But there was this thing called Uber, right? And I used to drive Uber, right? And I still do from time to time. But I was really so passionate. Every day I went in and ran summer camp, I wasn't just the CEO. I wasn't sitting back or with a suit. I was the counselor. I was a person playing kickball. I was a person, instructing in the swimming pool. I was that person, but that made me alive. That made me feel alive. I care so much. And I'm creating stability. I want everyone to break the cycle, right? You don't have to go through the same stuff over and over because you're grandparents, because you're parents. You can be your own self and you have the tools. And that's what the whole purpose is. The purpose is for me to give you the tools. It's for you to build self-esteem, for you to be a leader. Most important, that role model. That role model. That's why I'm so passionate. This is my story, but in order for me to continue my story, I need the support to grow. I'm growing my organization. I have a board, a great board, and I got a great support group now, but I need more support in order to continue to do what I love to do and continue to impact and service those that need it. Those kids, those teens that fall through the cracks, they need it the most.